Sergio Garcia is a major winner, but that doesn't mean that he's someone who everyone loves. The golfer has had a questionable reputation over the past years, and he continues to stay on track. In a recent incident, the golfer took a leap toward becoming the most hated man in golf, and in this video, we'll talk about it, and some famous reasons why he's hated so much. First up, here's why people are hating on him. There might be 100 reasons to hate Garcia, but the act he pulled now was just too much for his fans as well as the administration. Apparently, the golfer vanished from the flagship event of the DP World Tour after the tournament had already begun. So what happened is that LIV golfers were allowed to play at the flagship event despite the DP World Tour not wanting them to be there. But anyways, Garcia and others got to do so. However, it seems like the Spaniard had something else going on in his head. The spots were at a premium, and Garcia took his. However, after the opening round of 4 over, he withdrew from the tournament. This happened without warning and obviously made many people upset. After all, it's almost impossible to think of a golfer leaving the tournament in between, leaving others in huge trouble. Not to mention, he put the whole tournament in trouble. Because the tournament had already begun, there was no way for the administration to replace him with a reserve. And just so you know, Alfredo Garcia Heredia, who isn't only Sergio's compatriot, but also John Rahm's close friend, was the first reserve. In fact, what makes it more ironic is that just a few days back, Rahm had shared his thoughts about how it was personally problematic for him that certain golfers got to play while a player like Heredia was a reserve. And after Garcia withdrew in between the game, Rahm once again said that if he had withdrawn earlier, AGH would have been able to play at the championship. And we believe that Rahm's frustration over Garcia's action is indeed justifiable. Who even leaves a game in between? We wonder how no one threw hands. Following up, here's why his withdrawal was controversial. There's no denying that all the players are allowed to withdraw from any event. However, the circumstances around the golfer were the reason why he got so much hate for leaving the game in between. First of all, he didn't bother to give a reason, but apparently he couldn't come up with a valid reason why he decided to withdraw from the championship right after one round. Actually, the golfer had completed the first 18 holes right before the news of Queen Elizabeth II's death broke out, which resulted in the sudden suspension of play at Wentworth. Not just that, in order to respect the death of the monarch, the Friday playoff was called off, and the tournament itself was reduced to 54 holes. But Garcia decided to pull out after playing 18 holes only, and just a few hours after creating this controversy, the golfer was seen happily posing for pictures at a football game at Texas Alabama College in Austin. This made the fans and other golfers realize that Sergio left the tournament in turmoil to attend a college football game. And not so surprisingly, the reactions to this weird act weren't very polite. Up next, here's what the fans had to say about Sergio's withdrawal. Fans might have forgiven him for doing so, but things got out of hand when he posted the pictures on social media platforms. Paul Higman, who's a digital sports journalist, posted Sergio's picture at the football game and captioned it by saying some really harsh words. He noted that it was very poor of Garcia not to play at Wentworth without a good reason, only to go and attend a college game in the USA. He also mentioned that Garcia's participation cost Alfredo Garcia Heredia a place. The golfer is at 134th rank at the moment and is trying to keep the card. Higgum was definitely mad at Sergio and ended his tweet by calling Sergio's move a proper weenie move. Not just that, another Twitter user, who's probably a diehard fan of McIlroy, wrote that it seems like Garcia is really a crappy person. In short, no one really understood why he pulled such a cheap move. If he wasn't interested in playing, he could have left the position and let someone else play. Even we've started wondering why this guy is actually as sick-minded as everyone says. If yes, then he definitely needs to fix himself, because what he did was terrible. Another Twitter fan tweeted that Garcia is the kind of guy who will call in sick at work and then will continue uploading pictures on Facebook of enjoying himself in a pub. Well, someone had to say that. It is like that with him. No wonder people were mad about it. It wouldn't have been an issue if a reserve could take place, but he deliberately took it up and abandoned it so that no other could use it for their good. Imagine watching someone do that, and then they go on to attend an entirely unimportant game shamelessly. We bet you'd be mad about it as well. Not just that, it was very insulting for the tour too, because the golfer who was once their star didn't even think twice before withdrawing for no good reason. Martin Dempster, who's a writer at the Edinburgh Evening News, wrote that Garcia showed utter contempt to the tour players. He also wrote that how is it even possible for the golfer who was a legend in European golf to let go of all his respect just because he was utterly selfish? Not just that, Matt Vincenzi wrote that he's entirely disappointed in Sergio Garcia. He also noted that Garcia had a chance to go out and prove that he's still a competitor, but he didn't play nicely and then quit without reason. Apparently, the golfer has a reputation for being the most villainous character in golf. It's not something new that the golfer has been portrayed as a villain. Over the past few years, he has been involved in so many controversial incidents that almost everyone hates him. One such incident was when he spit in a hole. Not just that, he once even threw a shoe in the crowd. He's maybe the only golfer who has been disqualified for damaging greens because of his anger issues. In one of the recent incidents, the golfer got angry at the officials on the PGA Tour over a ruling. While talking about it, the golfer said that he couldn't wait to leave the tour and couldn't wait to get out of there. The critics believe that instead of growing mature, the golfer only turned into an unprofessional person who's guilty of his stupid behavior. Sports broadcaster Nathan Murphy tweeted, saying that he's shocked to discover that such a legendary golfer will act like a petulant child. Not just that, Eamon Lynch wrote a lot about this. According to Lynch, Garcia has always been like this. In the flagship events, the golfer only appeared twice, and what he did was the same in both. The first time he was there was in 2014, and even at the time, he had left the tournament after playing the first round. Lynch concluded that the only thing he's got to know about the golfer is that he hasn't changed over the years and is still selfish. Not just that, he also wrote that at the moment, LIV Golf is expecting to present the league at all the significant events whenever they're eligible. According to him, the league is doing so to normalize the existence of the league, to grab world ranking points, and if nothing, they simply want to disturb the status quo. And for all this, the league doesn't have a man more infantile than Garcia. He also wrote that it's pretty doubtful if the golfer's reputation would get better among his peers. His reputation will be hurt because of his unprofessionalism, since one can't further diminish something that has already been rendered fecal. Lastly, will this act hurt LIV Golf? It might hurt LIV, because obviously, Garcia is one of the biggest names the Saudi-backed league has lured till now. And now, with his reputation being tainted again, this could also become a bit difficult for the league. The LIV golfers may be entirely banned from any tour events because of what Garcia did. If we look into it, DP World had to surrender and allow the golfers to play at the event because there was nothing that could go against them. But now, even though golfers are allowed to withdraw, the matter can be presented as something that could force LIV Golf to give up on events. It might also hurt LIV's chances of becoming an OWGR-approved league. This might seem unimportant, but Garcia is a representative of the already controversial league and tells a lot about what kind of behavior this series encourages. So yeah, along with Garcia's own reputation, this whole mess might also ruin LIV's chances of becoming the primary golf league. And with this, it's time for us to wrap this video up, fam. What are your thoughts about this video? Do let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll soon be back with more amazing videos. See you in the next one.